Wake up daily, chasing every single big blue bill. Watch me climbing higher up this very steep hill. Keep on working hard until I get my fill. Stay so focused, moving with a very sharp skill. Burning rubber while I cruise across the fast lane. Never stopping even when I feel the deep pain. Pouring every soda like a sudden summer rain. Building up my kingdom in my very own rain. Turn the volume louder till the speakers stop blowing. Feel the heavy rhythm and the energy keep flowing. Look around and see the neon lights are glowing. Everyone can see that my bank account is growing. Platinum records hanging on my shiny white stone wall. Standing very tall so I will never ever fall. Giving everything until I finally take it all. Answering the universe whenever she starts to call. Walking through the fire while I keep my cool. Breaking every limit and I never follow any rule. Shining like a diamond or a very precious jewel. Feeding up the engine with a better grade fuel. Hear the static cracking as the neon lights flash. Making all the moves and making all the cash. Driving really fast until I make a giant smash. Leaving all the haters in a pile of ash. Every single lesson turned into a brand new goal. Writing out a story that has never been told. Staying very brave and staying very young and bold. Breaking out the cage and breaking out the mold. Sitting heavy in the center of town. We are moving up and never ever going down. Wearing this success like a golden heavy king crown. Swimming through the ocean so I never ever drown. Clouds are moving fast across the wide blue sky. Looking for the limits that are way up high. Never telling secrets and I never tell a lie. Spreading out my wings so I can finally fly. Pressure turns the carbon into something very bright. Like fighting for the future in the middle of night. Grabbing every chance and holding on so very tight. Looking at the world with a very clear sight. Cameras always clicking when I step outside the door. Giving people magic and they always want some more. Listen to the ocean as it hits the shore. Floating like a ghost across a cold marble floor. Rhythm in my soul is like a heavy beat. Walking with a fire underneath my own tired feet. Turning up the furnace and I feel the heat. Victory is tasting so very sugary and very sweet. Everyone is watching as I enter in the room. Clearing out the space with a very loud boom. Watching all the seeds and watching flowers finally bloom. Driving through the shadows and away from the gloom. History is waiting for the name I will sign. Everything is perfect and it feels so very fine. I am going forward and I cross the line. See the silver stars as they start to shine. Put the dream together like a master plan piece. Working every day and I will never ever cease. Looking for the quiet and I find the peace. Letting all the static and the tension just release.
Yeah. Da 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 da. Watch me ignite the fire burning deep inside tonight. Chasing every single dream under this bright neon light. Never stop until the finish line is in plain sight. Every weight is lifting up like a paper thin kite. Living for the rhythm that we create every day. Throwing all the heavy negative energy far, far away. No one tells us exactly what we should ever say. Turning every dark gray sky into a gold display. Sitting on a brand new throne built on solid stone. Taking back the power that I have always known. Leaving all the quiet doubt in a silent dead zone. Look at how much this young seed has finally grown. Playing at the top of the very hardest game. Turning up the volume until they know the name. Lighting up the city with a bright electric flame. Nothing in this life will ever be the same. Look at the reflection inside of these wild eyes. Reaching for the peak where the golden eagle flies. Cutting through the heavy fabric of those weak lies. Winning is the only thing that is the prize. Walking through the heavy open silver glass front door. I am craving something better than I had before. Hearing how the crowd starts to give a roar. Watching how my spirit finally begins to truly soar. Everything I touch is turning into solid heavy gold. Telling all the stories that have never been told. Staying very brave and staying very, very, very bold. Breaking every single habit that is getting very old. Let the rhythm take you till you really shout. Clearing up the shadows and the heavy dark doubt. This is what the heavy vibe is all about. Taking every single toxic person on the route out.
Dancing on the pavement of the busy city street, moving to the heavy pounding of the kick beat, feeling all the energy and feeling all the heat. Victory is tasting very sugary and very, very sweet. Keeping all the focus on the spinning every wheel, making sure the promises I make are very real. Cutting through the metal with the blade of steel, signing on the line to close the big deal. Welcome to the crazy and the very bumpy ride. There is nowhere left for you to go hide. Moving with the motion of the heavy ocean tide, keeping all the passion and the fire deep inside. Everything is looking very sharp and very clear, pushing past the shadows and the heavy dark fear. Listen to the thunder that is coming very near, celebrate the glory of the lucky winning year. Moving very fast and moving very, very, very slow, waiting for the heavy, heavy whistle to loudly blow. Watching all the flowers in the garden will grow. Everything is moving in a very steady, rhythmic flow. Driving in the middle of the fast-speed lane, breaking all the heavy and the rusty iron chains. Standing in the middle of the cold, dark rain, rising up above the heavy struggle and the pain. Driving in the city in a very fast car, I can see the flashing of a distant star. Setting up the drinks at the local dive bar, looking at the healing of a heavy, deep scar. Scrolling through the images up on the very small screen, trying to be noticed and trying to be seen. Keeping all the habits in the body very clean, living like a king or living like a queen. Keeping up the rhythm at a very fast pace, running every second in a very long, long race. Look at all the beauty on a human face, falling into heaven with a very truly saving grace. Filling up the future in a very deep trust, leaving all the metal to the heavy orange rust. Rising from the ashes in the heavy gray dust, doing all the things that I really, really must. Collecting all the heavy and the green paper cash, making quite a very big and heavy loud splash. Driving through the city in a very quick flash, cleaning up the heavy and the dirty mountain trash. Looking for a perspective that is fresh and new, only keeping members of the very, very loyal crew. Sipping on the heavy and the chilly morning dew, doing all the things that I really should do. Making every single heavy in the solid grandstand, taking all the control of the very dry land, holding every secret in the palm of my hand, following the leader of the heavy metal jazz band. Listen to the heavy and the very loud sound, keeping both the feet on the very hard ground, looking for the treasure that can finally be found, running very fast like a very quick greyhound. Making sure the promises, making sure the promises I made I will keep. Climbing up the mountain that is very, very steep, diving in the water that is very, very deep, never ever falling into any kind of long sleep.